Hola mi gente, welcome to Kiss My Krafts. My name's Maritza. Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining me. This is the first time I've ever done a premiere, and it's showing at 1 o'clock in the morning on December 26th. So happy Kwanzaa to those who celebrate. So if you're from the States and you're up at this time, thank you. And if you're from the other side of the world, it's probably December 27th. So, well, I don't know. Yeah, something like that, right? Or late December 26th. So welcome. I hope you enjoy this. I hope I entertain you for the next hour or so. I thought long and hard what I was going to do, and as I'm recording this, I still don't know what to do for the full hour, but I'm going to do this in bits and pieces and put it together. So what I'm working on is Frosty Forest Friend by Donna Gelsinger, and this is from a Diamond Art Club kit, and it's a square, and it was a gift from my girl Whitney. Thank you again. And here I have my cover minder that Siobhan from Coverminder Siobhan sent me. She has a store on Etsy, and this is one of the ones she sent me. Isn't it cute? And I'm working on this blue color. Okay. So, I'm going to start out with reminiscing about gifts of Christmas past that I've received that are unforgettable. Not necessarily good, but unforgettable. Okay, so I'll start with my son's father, the first Christmas gift he ever gave me. And I was so excited because it was our first Christmas together. And I remember anxiously waiting for him to get out of work so I could get my gift. He comes with the gift, and it was in the bag that he bought it in. And it was, okay, mind you, I was 23 years old, okay? So I was like, okay, it's not wrapped. This is all in my head. It's not wrapped, but it's still a gift. So I open it slowly, wanting the excitement to extend itself a little longer. Because once you see your gift, the excitement about having the gift is there, but the excitement of the anticipation of seeing what it is over. So I opened the bag slowly. I put it. It was apparel. I can feel the material. It was soft. So I pull it out and shake it out because what it was really long, and it was the ugliest old lady nightgown I ever saw. So I stared at it and I didn't know how to react because I'm not ungrateful and I don't like to hurt people's feelings. But the devil side of me was like, what the F is this? So it was like I was stood frozen, just staring at it. And I decided it was not worth hurting his feelings because when his feelings got hurt, it would turn into a fight. So I said thank you and I pretended to like it and I put it in a drawer and never to be seen again until I threw it out. Yeah. After that, the next couple of years wasn't much better. Until I started collecting dolls. My mother and I started collecting dolls. She liked the porcelains. I got into Barbies. And one Christmas, he brought home, it was a little box, and I was scared to open it. Because mind you, he never liked to wait till Christmas Day. It was, as soon as he came home from work on Christmas Eve, because that's when he bought the gift. Anyway, so it was a box and it was nicely wrapped. And in it was one of the prettiest dolls that I ever saw. It was so pretty, and I was like in shock that I stood there staring at it, just like I stared at the nightgown a couple of years before. I'd say about 3 or 4 years before that. And he's like, "You don't like it?" But I did like it. I loved it. I was just in shock that you know he actually bought something that I liked. And I didn't know how to react. So after that, until we split, he got me one of those. Oh, and they're from a company called Madame Alexander. They make the prettiest dolls. They have the prettiest costumes, and I still have these dolls. They're put away, but I still have them. I haven't looked at them in a very long time. I should check the condition of all of the stuff that I still have left as far as the doll collection that I had, because I did sell some. It just got too much and the space got too little. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So moving along to the cheating ex. Okay. I think he was the worst. He was the worst. One year he bought the first year, our first year together. And there I go, anticipating the moment he brings me my gift. At the time, I lived with my mom and dad and my son. And, I had met him, or yeah, we had started going out earlier that year in the spring. So we are already at this point a few months into the relationship. So I don't remember what I got him, but I was anticipating the gift. Because mind you, prior to that, during those months, he was pretty generous with taking me out. You know, Sometimes I'd be like, let's go. I need to go buy some bedding. And he'd drive me to the store and, walk around with me, whatever. And when I'd go pay, he'd offer and he'd take over and want to pay. So I'm like, oh, he's generous. Okay. I wasn't used to that. So Christmas Day, he's invited to come over and have dinner with my parents, my family and stuff. And I'm anticipating. And he rings the bell. I open the door. And he's like, hello. But he's empty handed. He ain't got nothing in his hand. He don't even got a pie. And I was looking at him like, trying to see behind him. Is there something behind him that he's holding on? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a spoiled brat. But from my significant other, I expect a gift when it is a time for gift giving. Because I give a gift. You know what I mean? I think of that and I look forward to giving the gift and seeing their reaction and hoping they like it and all that stuff. I get a joy out of that. I enjoy it, but I also feel that it's nothing Valentine's Day, my birthday, Christmas, Mother's Day, whatever time it's a traditional gift giving day, holiday, and I have a significant other, then I expect something. Yeah, that's the bottom line. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, buy me something. And this man walking in my house with not a thing in his hand, and I was pissed. And my mother knew I was pissed, and my mother got the chuckles, and she kept laughing. And every time I would look at her, I was giving her the evil eye. And he's looking at me, smiling like nothing is wrong. Like he don't know, And it's like, could it possibly be he doesn't know? Is it not? Is he, does he not have this practice? You know what I mean? So the gift I had for him, I didn't even bring it out. And every time my mother would look at me and she would look at my angry looking face, because I was just squinting my eyes at her, she would laugh even more and had to leave the room. So I just was quiet. I stood quiet. And after a while, he's like, "What's the matter?" I was like, "Nothing, nothing." And then I couldn't stay quiet no more. So, of course, we had a little small argument about, damn, you didn't buy me nothing. So he learned his lesson because the following year he came with a gift. And I was like, oh, okay. So I opened this gift. Now, I wasn't mad, but deep down inside, I was disappointed because inside the box was the ugliest pair of shoes I ever did see. They looked like they were for a small man because not only were they manly looking, they were they were small. I'm tall. I have a big foot. I can't fit my foot. I can't fit a toe in a 5.5, and they were size 5.5. I was like, I could see off the bat, and I'm looking at him. So I didn't want to show that I didn't like the way they looked. So I said, I'm sorry, but I could see that these are small. So he's like, I got the receipt. We'll go change them. I'm like, okay, good. So now I'm like, have the dilemma. Do I pick something different? Is it gonna hurt his feelings if I pick something different? Because I don't like those shoes. I didn't like them. They were ugly. Then we get to the store. It's some store, and it was open on um oh, it was having like a after Christmas sale. So they were like super busy. And this store was like in Manhattan, an area I don't shop. I keep it simple. I don't go to where everybody else goes. You know what I mean? And now with online shopping, forget about it. I don't even bother going to the store. So but he bought it in an area called Midtown Manhattan. So I knew off the bat, I'm like, he paid a lot of money for these ugly ass shoes. So I was like, well, now I feel bad picking something else, but if he spent the amount of money these people sell their shoes for, I should pick something that I'm gonna get use out of and not waste his money. So then he opens his mouth and says, I'm glad that you like the shoes because you were so disappointed last year. So, oh, there goes picking another pair of shoes. I didn't have the heart. Like I said, I don't like hurting people's feelings. So, unlucky for me, they have my size. Now they look even more mannish because they're bigger. They're twice the size of the 5.5. Well, not exactly twice the size, but close to it. So yeah, we're driving back home, and I'm sitting there in my head like, oh, damn. Oh well, at least he got me something. Fast forward to the next year. Now, mind you, we're in what year now? 2001, maybe 2003 or 2004. No, it was 2004. It's Christmas time again. And here he comes with a big cheesy smile and this big old box wrapped up. And I was like, what the hell is this? I had no idea what it could be. So I opened it. And it was a big boom box that looked like it came from the when did they use boom box? Late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s. The ones that the guys carried on their shoulders, blasting through the street. If you're old enough to remember, because I remember my brothers, I remember the friends that did that. Everywhere we went, there was a boombox with us. And I didn't understand why. I didn't understand why he would think that I needed this boombox. But again, I don't I don't want to hurt people's feelings. So I was like, thank you, make no big issue out of it. After that, it was a few years into the relationship, I was used to him and I felt that, you know what? Let me tell him what I want. I started saying, you know what? I'm going to say what I want. So I would tell him and he'd be like, okay, order it. Here's the money. Yeah, there's nothing, no surprise in it. There's, the whole idea just really goes out the window. But guess what? I got something I want and I was happy. Y'all must think I'm a spoiled brat. Okay, so then towards the later years, towards the end, the last couple of maybe 3 years, I ain't getting nothing again. It went back to not getting me a damn thing. So fast forward. Now I have my current boyfriend. And this is going to be our third Christmas together. And last year he did well, and he is a single parent raising a young child by himself. Christmas, I'm older now. Christmas is for, if you look at it at the religious aspect, then it's what it is. You know what I mean? But if you look at it in a child's point of view, it's Santa and snow and the reindeer and all the Christmas stories and candy canes and decorating the Christmas tree and all that. And it's making the children, for me, making them smile, making them excited, for those that follow the elf on the shelf thing, your traditions, hanging stockings, all that stuff goes with, it's for the kids. And so our first Christmas together, I didn't know what to expect. We had been dating, and it is a long distance relationship. So whatever you can do in date as far as dating in a long distance relationship, we did. We visited each other, and we video chat every day, several times a day, and it works. It's been working. Anyway, so let's go backtrack a few months before the first Christmas together. And I think I finished this color. Wait, let me look through the magnifying glass. Yes, I did. So let me change colors and I'll continue. Hold on a second, man. I got a little bit too much wax on this pen here. I fill up both my pens, and if you know me, you know that these are the only two that I basically use most of the time. So yeah, I have one that I could have used for like this Christmas tree, it's like rainbow, but it's not mine. It's gonna belong to my winner. Anyway, so let's backtrack a few months, like maybe June or July, and he tells me I had visited and came back, and he told me he got me a pair of boots. Okay, cool. I told him I wanted some female type biker boots. Cool. Thank you. So, weeks pass. I'm waiting for him to send me these boots. Okay. And I never get them. I don't bring it up. I forget about it, whatever. So now it's the holidays. Okay. A few months after the boot conversation. And I happen to mention, because I bought him something and her something, and I put it in a box, and I had it, I mailed it, and I let him know, listen, you're getting a package in like 3 days, whatever. And his whole expression changed. And the very next day, he calls me, he's like, I overnighted your gift to you. When I saw his expression change the day before, I thought to myself, he didn't buy me anything. I knew it. I was like, well, that's my luck. This is the type of man that I meet, whether they're cheap, don't got it like that, or just don't think about a significant other to buy them something. You know what I mean? So I'm really sounding like a brat, ain't I? Anyway, if I am sounding like one, then I am sounding like one. I like my significant other to buy me a gift, like I said in the beginning of this video. How long have we been going? I can't go too long. Oh, it's only been 22 minutes. Oh my goodness, I still got another 38 minutes to fill. Anyway, so I knew by the shift in his eyes that he didn't have anything for me. So the next day, okay, what symbol am I working on? Let me just double check. Okay, the X. So the very next day he calls me. He says, I overnighted your gift to you. And I don't know why, and this popped into my head because I haven't thought about this in a while. I gave up on them. I said to myself, I said to him, what is it? He said, a box. I said, what's in the box? He says, another box. And I just took a chance and said, you're not sending me the boots that you bought back in the summer, are you? And saying that that's my Christmas gift. You didn't buy me anything, did you? And he was like, you're getting a box. So he led me to believe, even though I was still leery and was going to be leery until I opened that box and saw what it was, he led me to believe that, no, that's not it. So I get the box. And he's all excited. Open it. But okay, I'm going to open it. And I say it again. I say, this looks like a box where boots can come in. He's like, just open it. I was like, it better not be the boots that you bought months ago that you should have sent months ago. And guess what, me? It was the boots. I was like, why couldn't you just tell me that it was the boots when I asked you? This way, I don't anticipate anything else. So, I wasn't happy that Christmas. Not at all. And, my family does well. They spoil me. And I'm happy. But if I don't get from my significant other something that I like, it kind of just messes it up for me. The day gets messed up for me. Yeah, I sound like a brat, a very spoiled brat. But then after that, Jose learned his lesson last year. Well, see, now, last year, in my opinion, and you're going to be like, well, do you want or don't you want? Last year, he went overboard on me and I felt bad. It's not the monetary value. It's the fact that my significant other went out of their way to choose something that they know or hope that I will like based on them knowing me, and if I get something that where I'm thinking in my head, where would you think I would like this? You don't know me. It's easy to know me. You know what I mean? I make it very verbal. my interests, what I like, what I don't like, you know what I mean, in conversations. And it's not to hint forgives, it's just that's how you get to know people. You listen to when they talk about themselves, you know, when you're in a conversation about likes and dislikes, you know what I mean? That shows the person that you're listening to what they're saying, you're really getting to know them. So he did go above and beyond, and it was a little overboard. I didn't want him to do that. I did appreciate it, and he made the whole holiday, my whole stay there, so very extra special. My birthday, he went out. He's like, I gotta take care of some business, and I'm like, I don't want to stay home. I want to go with you. Why can't we go with you? He goes, I gotta take care of business. So now I'm like, oh, he gotta do, because it was still early. And then he came back with balloons and balloons and a birthday cake for me. And that was sweet, because to see him, you wouldn't think that he has this little soft spot. And he does, even though he wants to act like he don't. But he does. He does. He's this big guy. He's gruff. He can be mean. He'll shoot a person at a moment's notice if they mess with him. You know what I mean? He's got guns. They're all legally bought, with the permits and all that stuff, and he's got other stuff that he's licensed for or whatever. And so yeah, I have walked into places with him, and mind you, we're walking with a little child, and I'm not intimidating looking, not at all. But with his height, his size, and how he dresses, because he dresses picture biker, but he's not actually a biker. He belongs to a club, but it's not an MC club. It probably is all about the same thing, only you're not required to have a motorcycle. He used to ride and he can ride, but he's got a kid, so he has a SUV, whatever. Anyway, so he made it very special. And so I'm looking forward to going there again. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to be there this January 26th, ain't it? So we've been talking. We had, prior to me getting there last week, I'm going to confuse the heck out of y'all. We've been talking for months of all our plans of what we're going to do. Now, mind you, I don't do tourist things when I go visit. It's like going home. That's my second home. So we don't do the tourist thing. We basically play house. We tend to Mia's needs, on a daily. I play mama, and we do whatever we need to do. We'll go out to eat, but I don't do the touristy thing. No, I'm not interested in going to Disney World unless, it's to take Mia, but I don't require it just because I'm in Orlando. You know what I mean? To me, it's like I'm going home for Christmas, my other home. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Or yeah, I'm happy here. I'm here. Oh, but I didn't tell you. I'm sorry, I had a coughing fit. Excuse me. I didn't tell you about the most memorable gift of all. We're going back, way back into time, back when I was 18. Yeah, I was 18 years old. I was in my first year of college. Nope. I was 19 years old because that was my second year of college. And a few months before that, I started dating this guy that I met there. Okay. So we started dating in May. So now it's what, 7 months later. 7 months later, he invites us to his family's house. Us meaning our college friends. There's a group of us, including my current sister-in-law at the time. She was dating my brother. And so his family, or he invites us to his grandmother's house, because that's who he lived with, was his grandmother, for a trim a tree party. So everybody had to bring an ornament for his tree, for the family tree. And it was, we were going to have food or whatever. If you wanted to bring something, then you brought something, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, prior to this, couple of days, maybe 3, I start getting phone calls from these same college friends that we're all going to hang out with, that we're all hanging out together. So a couple of them, not all of them, but a couple of them contacted me. But back then it was phone. You can only contact each other by house phone. We didn't have internet. We didn't have cell phones. There was no texting. There was, kids today would not survive that. So one of my good friends, she calls me. She's like, I know what he's getting you for Christmas. And I'm like, what? She's like, a rock. And I'm like, no. Yes. No. Yes. And I didn't think that that was true because of knowing how he was and how he felt about all that. And we were young. He was older than me by a couple of years. But still, we had just pretty much hadn't even made a year yet, dating, we hadn't, I don't know, it just didn't sound right to me. But all in all, then a second person told me the same thing. So I was like, could it be that he's giving me an engagement ring? I'm like, nah, it can't be. Then he's acting all crazy and shit. Like he's excited about this trimetry party. And telling me I can't wait till you see what I got you. Now he's talking shit. Keeps talking about how he can't wait to see my reaction. He can't wait for this. He can't wait for that. So now I'm thinking, he got me an engagement ring. Could it be? Oh, hype. Hell yeah, I'll take it. It ain't about getting married. It's the rock. I was a jewelry freak. I liked the way engagement rings looked. And if he was going to give me one, I would have wear it. Whether we ended up getting married or not, I didn't know. Listen, I was 19 years old. I was like, the thought of being a fiance, well, that was exciting. You know, thinking about, uh, what do you even call it? Preparing for a wedding and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Now, mind you, I'm, still in college. My parents liked him, so hey, why not? It was like that. So the big day comes, we're all gathered in my house so we could head to his house. Okay, my house was always the hangout spot for my college friends. Mom used to cook. They used to they used to come hang out. Whatever we were going to do, that would be the spot to meet, was my house. And so we all met and we headed to his house for this tree party. Everybody had their ornament and some people had something they either made or bought to eat, or this person had something to drink. Everybody brought something, dessert or whatever, and their ornament. So we get there and his grandmother's there and one of his aunts that also lived there. They greeted us. We had food, we had snacks, blah, blah, blah. And everybody, gave their ornament. They hung it up on the tree, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And then it was time to exchange some gifts. So, they got a little, he got a little something something for each person, some little, like, I could think it was like a box of candy or Christmas cookies or something like that. It wasn't like he got them, somebody a scarf or somebody cologne, or anything like that. He, a little knickknack. And then he made this big issue about the next gift, which was for me. I mean, he's like, close your eyes, blah, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, why do I have to close my eyes? Now I'm playing dumb. Why do I have to close my eyes? Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. So I close my eyes, and then I feel, movement. I hear a thud. This, hear a fucking thud, okay? So there's this really beautiful wrapped gift on the floor in front of my feet. Beautiful. And he's cheesing. And it has this gorgeous, I mean, it was wrapped super beautiful, but it wasn't the size of a ring box. It was bigger. So now I'm thinking, okay, he put a box in a box in a box just to make it bigger, to fool me. Because I'm still thinking I'm getting an engagement ring, right? Ay, Dios mío. So I'm unwrapping this beautifully wrapped gift. And there's all this pretty tissue paper that, honestly, like, I helped him wrap it. That be. My friend who told me that I was getting engaged, she's excited. And it seems like everybody knew. You know what I mean? Because everybody's like, hurry up, because I'm going really slow. Remember, I open gifts slow because the anticipation and excitement of what it is, once you see it, goes away. So I like to prolong that. I gotta move Frosty a bit. I like to prolong that part. I'm like a child in these times. You know what I mean? So I open the lid. Pull apart the tissue paper, and I see something dark. I see something dark, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?" And I reach in and I pull out a freaking rock from his backyard. So I'm getting mad thinking about it. And this is so many years ago, but I was so angry on the inside because the fellas that were there thought that was the most hilarious thing in the whole wide world. They laughed and they laughed and they thought it was the, yeah, and he thought he was the grand comedian of the night. You know what I mean? He's standing in Caroline's, getting applause. For those of you that don't know, Caroline's is a famous comedy spot in Manhattan. So, yo, inside, I was, I'm trying to be a good sport. I'm really trying to be a good sport, and my friend was horrified. I could see it in her face. So I'm still thinking, okay, that was funny. Let's get on with the real gift. And they're still ha ha, hoo hoo, ha haing all about it. And I'm sitting there waiting for the real gift. Okay, you did a funny. Now give me my real gift. 5 minutes pass, 10 minutes pass, half hour, an hour, and there is no gift. That was the gift. He didn't have anything to back up that horrible joke. So now I'm burning deep in, I'm burning up, and I'm still playing it off. But every time he tried to talk to me, I gave him the death look. My eyes, the same look I gave my mom when she thought it was the funniest thing that the other man showed up empty-handed. She, I mean, he got the picture, but he seemed confused. You know what? And let me tell you something, mi gente. He was a college student, but he also had a job. So I know what he made. I knew that it was not about he couldn't afford it. If he couldn't afford it, that joke was unnecessary. Just leave it alone. Let me give you my ornament. We eat, we have a good time, and I be on my way. Because I was still young then, and I don't know I don't remember it being such a big deal. For me, it was basically my parents, my family. I was anticipating whatever I was going to um, do with my family. That was always my excitement. Um, Mainly because by that point I was a foodie and I knew that there was gonna be a lot of the good Puerto Rican Christmas food that my mom would make, like arroz con gandules, pasteles, lechon asado, coquito, all that stuff. That's all Puerto Rican, traditional Puerto Rican food that you eat in Noche Buena, which is Christmas Eve. But this man didn't even have a gift to back up that horrible joke. So when it was all said and done and it was time to go home, he was going to take me home. And that's when I let him have it. Mi gente. I had a really bad temper when I was younger. I let him have it. And guess what? The remainder time, because we did date for a few years. And so after that, yeah, he learned his lesson. He learned his lesson. Oh my head there. I hope I don't appear like a spoiled brat, you know. But I'm just sharing stories of the gifts of Christmas past. What was one of your most memorable gifts, good or bad? And we're back. So with the holidays come Christmas movies and the Christmas music, and I like that. I like all that. That kind of stuff, hearing the music, that gets me into the Christmas spirit because I haven't been very much into the Christmas spirit for a few years. Last year I did because I was away and spent it with Jose and Mia, and we had a great time. Christmas Eve, Christmas Eve, I made them lasagna, and we cooked the other traditional stuff that is normally cooked. And we were listening to music, and me and I were dancing, and Jose was DJing, and it was just the three of us, and we had a great time. However, by 9:30, Jose was done. Okay, because mind you, him and we were drinking. He was done. He was done, and he just abruptly stopped the music and said, "I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to sleep." I was like, "But it's only 9:30. It's Christmas Eve," and he's like, "I'm sorry, I can't no more." And he went and he passed out. So it was just me and Mia. And then Mia, by 10 o'clock, was like, you could see the child wanted to go to bed. And she didn't say she was done, but she, made her way to her bed and just knocked out. So here I am, 10, little after 10, all by myself. Everybody's asleep. So I put the TV on and enjoyed whatever Christmas shows were on until my, well, I think it was on already. Yeah, They're my favorite of all movies. Every year, I think it's TBS puts on a marathon of a Christmas story. That is my favorite Christmas movie. I could watch that movie over and over again. So when I saw that it was on, I was super happy. I got some snacks. I made myself comfortable in the recliner. Um, he has a really nice sofa recliner set, and the recliners are really wide and they extend all the way, and they're just very comfortable. So I made myself comfortable with some snacks, something to drink, no alcohol. By this time, I didn't want any alcohol. Um, and I enjoyed, I think it was 3 showings of A Christmas Story. I'd be a good old time. I overdid it on the snacks. I tend to like to do something with my hands when I'm watching TV. I cannot stay still. So if I don't have, since the lights, well, I did have something to crochet, but I kept the lights out. It was just me and the TV. So instead of, to keep my hands busy, I got snacks. um, what did we do on Christmas Day? The morning, of course, Mia opened all her gifts. And we chilled out. It was very nice. I was happy. I got to trim the tree with them, decorate a little bit. He already has the wreath up on the door, and he mentioned he was going to decorate the tree, and I just hollered, no, because I want to be part of that. I want to do it. So, as far as Christmas music, I love Christmas music. Not all of it, some of it. Like there's some songs that just get me all emotional each and every time that I hear them. And the main one is the Little Drummer Boy. Man, when he asked Mary, shall I play my drum for you? Because I have no gift for you. And he starts playing, and he's like, I play my best for him. Ba-rum-ba-bum-bum. Oh my God, I'm feeling it now. My heart swells up with emotion. Just hear every time I hear that song, no matter what version it is, it's a song that always gets to me. And then Silent Night. Silent Night is another song that, for whatever reason, makes me emotional. And then you got songs like Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, On Our Way from Our House Christmas Eve, and who does that? Who makes up songs about poor grandma getting run over by a reindeer? Because she died. That's so sad. And I know it's supposed to be comical, but first time I heard it, I was like, what the hell? But guess what? I know all the words. But the Little Drummer Boy gets me each and every time. Well, mi gente, I hope you enjoyed this. I didn't mean to sound like a spoiled brat, because I really am not. I'm always very grateful, but with the significant other, I feel that they should know me, and they should know what I like and what I don't like, and base their decisions on gift giving on that. But with that being said, I want to thank all of my friends, subscribers that have sent me a gift. You really touched me, and you guys don't know me. I'm a stranger to most of you. You only see what I put out on my videos, and unless we interact personally, then you don't know me. And for you to think of me in that way, it really touches my heart. But you really don't have to do it. I'm not expecting gifts from you guys, only my significant other. But I do want to thank each and every one of you that have the messages that I've gotten, the well wishes, Merry Christmas, and all that I've gotten in messages and emails. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope your holiday was special. And during these crazy times of COVID, I hope you still had a great one next to loved ones. And to those that have spent it alone, I hope this day kept you company, with all the creators spending a little of their time with you. God bless each and every one of you, and enjoy the rest of your day or night. Besos.